That heifer right there just don't even care.
Save yourself now.
Hey, y'all.
Action. What do you say, folks? Hope everybody having a fine Sunday evening.
We're having a wet one.
Yep.
It's been raining all day.
So, thank you, Louisiana, Mississippi. We appreciate you sending the rain on over here because we sure needed it.
We did. Pretty bad.
But, yeah, it's been raining all day. But thank goodness. Kind of help out around him.
Jubal has not enjoyed it.
No. It's been a day in the house. But other than that, it's been pretty good. We tried relaxing. That was a failure.
Because of the puppies that are not happy they were locked in from the rain all day.
Yep. No, everybody closed up pretty much. But Blaine, appreciate you, man. Let me tell you what the letdown was. Talked to Blaine, our message with Blaine yesterday, I think it was. And y'all give it to the man. First of all, let me start off with this. He what?
He did.
He did. Blaine, the Texas beekeeper. Drum roll. I got one in here, but if I push the buttons, it's probably gonna lock everything up. But Blaine got his app approved through Google Play. So for the Android people, y'all can go on. Correct me if I'm wrong, Blaine, but I'm pretty sure you can go on the Google Play Store now and go on and download the app. And if you really want to support him, get the pro version. It's just it ain't very much a month to do it. Yeah, well worth it. He's been wonderful enough to us to let us kind of tinker with things and see how, behind the scenes.
Fun.
But
that thing is really, really cool.
Yes, it's going to be especially for spring, whenever we get into the bees a little bit more. I went through and programmed all the colonies in and what I knew of them off the top of my head. I went on and put in this and that, but I'm really looking forward to we can get into them spring this and that and do some of that video footage and take pictures. And I really like the voice feature, so you can just talk and you don't have to type.
And too, he had a brilliant idea that I never even thought of, but he was like, you can get one of them little stylus pens to use your phone screen while you're wearing gloves. I'm like, duh, Hannah.
I ain't no more, which I didn't even know there was a pen you could buy, or it just never hit me, I guess.
Stylus, I think. Something stylus. I'm not sure. I'm not that technologically inclined.
Me neither. But congratulations, Blaine. Hopefully it'll take on off for you. Put the name of it in there so folks know what it is.
Okay. Blaine, please correct me if I spell it wrong.
OLY. Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, bingo.
I got it. I don't know if he can put a link.
Yeah, he's got a wrench. He can put a link in there if he wants to it, but that's the name of it.
Use your wrench, Blaine. Hey, Miss Leona. I hope you're feeling better, lady.
Yes, ma'am. You've been on our mind, the last couple of weeks, but these last few days for sure. Like I said, I hope you're doing better. Lord willing, you getting onto a road of recovery. Let me run through here and holler at some of y'all right fast before we get into whatever we're going to get into.
DC said they found out his mom is okay. She's got maybe an ulcer she's got to have some surgery on.
Okay.
But There you go. Now everybody can just click the link and go get Blaine's app.
DC, that's good to hear that it ain't nothing showing up with your mama. And Lord willing, a little bit of
You too.
little time at home, or when she gets back home, she'll be able to get
Yeah,
back on
he
her
said
feet
she's in
well
the hospital in Texas.
in Texas. Let's see. Gary got first this evening. Who else? Mr. Deb, the Sun Bunny, Grayson, Mr. Dan Weaver.
We missed you last couple of weeks, Mr. Dan.
But I have to agree with the man in his comment. You have to scroll up to read the comment. But he said these earlier sunsets have got me all messed up. Perhaps I can stay up tonight. I'm with you, Captain. When that sun starts going down,
it's a fight to stay awake
it
till
is.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, usually we pretty well packing it up, getting ready for bed. 8:30. We in the bed pretty much at 8:30.
Yeah, I wish you could chill.
But where'd I leave off there? Mr. Dan, Jack and Danae, Jay over there in the fine state of Georgia, Mr. Russell Amon. Who else we got here? We got Clay, Mike Taneway, Chris. Good to see you, man.
What? Those videos make me nervous. Lee's climbing videos.
Oh, his rock climbing.
He asked, did y'all see Lee's climbing videos? The man's got some skills. Come on up, Jasper.
Yeah, all I'm thinking is,
Right,
man,
oh, man.
I hope that thing holds. And whoever drilled that bolt in that wall or in that rock, I hope they done their job. But Phillips, be careful, Phillips. You got John, I guess, on my mind. Philip, be careful when you traveling to the house there. We got Blaine, Texas Beekeeper. Like I said, y'all go check his app out if you get a chance, especially for the ones that really like to keep notes and are detailed in what they do. Bundy's good to see you. Go ahead.
I was going to say to James, I know, I promise we hadn't forgot. We were waiting on everybody to get with us. We thought that would happen last week, and we were just going to get them all sent out at the same time. But we're still waiting on Matt and Alicia to pick their prize and let us know.
Brian did get with me the day before yesterday, or the other day, and got with me on that end. So, yeah, once Matt and Alicia gets it, we're going to, like she said, just go one round in it. DC, good to see you, man. Miss Sarah's happy high. And we got a piece sitting here for you. And, we working, I think we pretty well got prices nailed down, but we'll get into that just a few more minutes. But
we did?
Well, we was talking a good rough estimate. By the time we figured cost of everything. Well, I hadn't yet. Lee, good to see you. Where else, Matt? Chris, good to see you, man. I don't want to miss any of y'all. Y'all forgive me if I do. Mr. Bill Lee, good to see you, Captain. Hallelujah Bee Farm, Pastor Larry, Miss Jan, and we get Miss Leona.
Our favorite Miss Leona.
Yes, ma'am. James, no. All right. This thing does not stop. All right. I think I got on down the list. If I missed you, I do apologize, y'all. Okay.
Our bees are actually doing pretty good, but I'm still not able to go bend over a beehive and work them. So he's been just barely keeping up with the peppermints.
Yeah.
Doing that. But I mean, we were doing our little, whatever I called it, my New Year's resolution. I wasn't going to play in the bees every day. I guess the Lord made me stick to that one. I don't think he had to do it so roughly. I would have listened with an easier way to keep me out of the bee yard, but
Yeah, I mean, they doing good out there. About the most have been doing well, like I said, keeping an eye on the beetle situation. And those have been very, very low numbers, thanks to the old peppermint there. And other than that, I've been tilting boxes, just checking weight and keeping an eye on numbers as far as they're still doing a little bit of bearding in the evenings, but so I mean everybody's still looking
They
good.
won't be bearding none this week coming up.
No,
Shoot, we got highs in the 60s like 3 days this week, and I am not looking forward to it because it's going to be like 40, 41 at night, and that's cold on my bones.
Well, it may get on into the 30s because whatever the temperature is in Mobile, we're going to be
5 degrees colder up here.
Yeah, it's going to be colder up this way. But I mean, so far so good. Everybody, like I said, we're just at that point, and I know a lot of other folks are. The only other thing to do is feed, but they're not touching. They're still not touching anything you put out there for feed.
They're pulling on something.
So, but
yeah, we've had several days in like the high 70s, low 80s, and it's been like high 50s at night or low 60s at night. It's been awesome weather.
he said, the sad time of beekeeping has begun here. Non-moving bees on wet doorsteps till spring.
You want to show Sarah first while she's in here?
Well, I can. Yes, ma'am. And I guess fill it as much as you can in a moment. I'll let you know when to look at the camera since you're driving.
Oh, now, Mr. Russell, if we had a fireplace inside, I'd be fine and dandy with it getting cold outside. I love to sit in front of the fire. Hey, Danae.
Everything's still counting. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I got which one was it. Okay. Sarah, this one's yours. Oh, we finished it up just the other day.
The first one, like the ones we put pictures on, we got to look in and it had some imperfections to it. It was the very first one he did, but this one turned out awesome.
But Sarah will be the first official to get one as I guess purchasing one, however you want to look at it.
That is so true, Chris.
So there's yours, Miss Sarah. Then we got you. We did your clear bottoms on them. There you go.
I think they look better.
She
said awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'll try to hold it. Let's see if I can do them all three. There we go.
Oh, Danae just got Blaine's new out.
Awesome.
I figured she'd be on it.
Y'all go hit him up over there.
Chris said being a believer and a beekeeper brings a special appreciation for all types of weather. I completely agree.
Well, indeed, it does. As part of that, it rains on the just and unjust, but we will take it. As far as the just on this one, for
it's
sure.
better than sweating your tail off at 6 o'clock in the morning.
But we got a few more, y'all. We gradually we're gonna build up a little stockpile on them and go. But there's a couple more.
I think this one's my second favorite.
There's purple and
I love that one.
Blue. Almost had your watermelon colors today, but I think we're gonna have to do them a little bit darker. But there's that in there. Then
this one's cool.
That in there. All right, Philip, look up when you get a chance. I'll give you about 2 seconds. But here's your hives for heroes.
That's the first one.
Yep. And we're gonna do the placemats the same thing, same way.
Yeah, they're coaster sets, DC, that he pouring out of that epoxy. But this one turned out even better.
Here's the second one, Philip, to do for your hives for heroes.
Yeah, the orange one, it's got yellows in it. He did like an orange and then a lighter orange and then a yellow. But it looks like sunshine, like in person. It really does. It made me think of Sarah.
See if y'all get that in there.
It almost, the yellow almost looks green on the camera.
But, yep, it's been fun. I'm enjoying it. I know that.
He's having a blast. He done gone through almost 2 gallons of epoxy.
Look, Philip, don't get upset with me on this one either. But I was doing some test runs. I had a brainstorm, and I was like, well, what if we put some of them little dippers in and see what they come out to look like? But there's a purple one over there. They're drying. But there's your ones with some dippers in them. Just tinkering around with them. But
Gary said you can send me that one.
The dipper?
I don't know if you meant the dipper or the orange one. He said he liked the orange one earlier.
All right, y'all shoot us an email and put coasters on there and let us know if you want. Like that kind.
I love the dipper. And he did another one. I wish they were dry, but he poured the clear coat earlier, and it's so rainy and sticky here, they ain't dry enough to pull out. But he did that deep purple that's in this other set.
That color.
That looks more
That's
blue.
more, it's showing the blue in there.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a deep purple that he did instead of the yellow, and they look really, really cool.
Hold it up without my fingers in the background of it.
Yeah, DC, we made these two, the two red, white, and blue sets to send to Philip to put in some of the gift baskets he does the raffle for.
Yes, sir. That's what
those were made special for.
But y'all let us know. We got 24 different colors in there. We can make you solid colors or put. I think the max that I can keep up with is doing 3 different colors, but at one run, because the way everything just kind of goes and sits up pretty quick on it. But
I know, Mr. D, we went to Hobby Lobby the other day looking for some little bees and stuff to put in there, but couldn't find anything. Like, I couldn't even find buttons in there.
Yeah, we searched all around that doggone place.
We literally walked the entire store, and they had almost nothing with honeybees. I was very surprised.
I got to check for sure, but I got to thank Brian from Flower Street for reminding me. I sent him a text the other day asking him about the cheapest way to send these things, because send them by regular, go to the post office, man, it was almost like $15. And I just did a rough estimate from Mobile to Seattle. Just say somebody, say DC wanted one. We send him one out there. Well, it's going to be like $15 to send it. But I got on that pirate shipping that Brian was telling me about, and the cost went down to about, I think it was about $8. Y'all don't hold me to it yet. I'm still trying to work out the rough edges, but it was way cheaper.
Philip used them too?
I think so. But if one of y'all in here know a cheaper route to do that besides Pirate or whoever else.
I know, DC, but I threatened him that he better not go down there and unalive any of my little honeybees for this, but they have not started removing the old bees yet. So he's not so patiently waiting on some real bees to be kicked out the door. Gary said, I think you can use food coloring in the epoxy. Somebody else was telling us you could use enamel paint.
Yeah, enamel
for the
was
color.
The only thing they were saying. You could put in there.
Oh, he was on that. But my first thought was, don't you go down there squishing my honeybees.
Yeah, I went looking.
Because you made me that one poster with the bee in it on the little twig. It was in the middle.
Yeah.
Jasper.
If I get the side, y'all can see.
Hmm.
There she got air bubbles coming out of her, but
It looks like the little cartoon blurbs, like where they have bubbles coming out their head and then a thought printed up there.
I don't know
He
if you
just
can tell
didn't
much
put
of my
what he
hand
was
will,
thinking.
but get it down. You can see her a little bit in there. She's on the old briar vine. Somebody told me in the comments on one of them things that said I needed some M's. And I thought to
Yeah.
myself, well,
I don't know if you could see them. Yeah, right, Danae. It's not like I'm shoved into the opposite arm of the chair or anything over here.
look at Mr. Dan said, oh, hold on.
Oh.
Let's see. Blaine says Pirate's supposed to be pretty good on their prices. Mr. Dan said he only paid $13 to ship all his
And
USPS. Oh no, I opened up an account with the pirate thing, and it let me.
do something.
Yeah, as long as I put a zip code from our zip code to what anybody else's, and that's why I went. I figured as far as I could across the country to see, and
How much does Jasper weigh?
Jasper probably
A lot.
about 90 pounds now, I'd say.
Yeah, a lot. He can squish you easily.
Yeah, he just kind of just flops over.
Mhm.
There's no gentle, oh, let me get right here. No.
Not at all. He just wanted to make sure y'all saw him this evening. Tell all his friends, hey,
Well, maybe. See if I can get it down here.
somewhere. Now he's pouting.
Yeah. You gonna say hey to everybody? While your children over there carrying on?
Mm-hmm.
But you wanna do the prayer list?
Yeah.
Before we get
Too far gone.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it, Danae. He's still mad because everybody wanted to see the puppies instead of him last week.
That poor baby.
Yeah. All right, we got Mr. Mark and Miss Crystal, Ed and his family, Mr. Pat, Miss Deb, Mike Tangway and his family, DC's mama, especially since she's in the hospital, but I'm glad she's gonna be okay. Rachel Wilson, her sister Amanda, their niece Riley, Philip's mama, his friends BJ and his wife, Bobby's Bees and his family, the Gandy family, Hillbilly Earl, our favorite Miss Leona, Steve Amos's father-in-law, PJ Hanley, Catherine's son and his family, Sarah and her family, Mr. Randy's mother-in-law, Miss Janae Wood, Kenneth and Chris Wilkinson, Terry Bertoland's family, Redfish's wife, Miss Janet, Kenneth Allen, Miss Dolores, Peppa Rookie, Denny Ray, Keith Laramore's wife, Miss Brenda, Steve-O, Rodney Middleton and his family, Philip's cousin's family, Lee's cousin Stephanie, Dan Garrison's daughter, Miss Jolynn, Clay Bunner's grandbaby, Keith Laramore's cousin, Mr. Russell Amon's wife, Miss Brenda, Mike Berry, Lee's mama. Hey, Lee, how is your mama? And Miss Renee. Let's see, Miss Brenda Johnson, Tom and his family, Barnhill's wife, Miss Connie, David Hoskins' little granddaughter Emma, Greg Dunn, John Waller, 33 Mile Phil's mama. What?
DC's coming. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing with the prayer list.
Mr. Russell Koopman's granddaughter, Tim's brother Jamie, Joseph Shows, Mr. Dan and his church, Mr. Ed's friend Shaw Wee, Jen's dad, Gary Stewart, Michelle Gurley, Lee's wife, Miss Renee, Castle Hives Brian and his family, Sarah's daughter's friend Stacy and her family, Blaine's great nephew, and Dennis Sherrill.
All right, y'all. If there's anybody we need to add to or take away from, y'all let us know. Or add to the prayer list, and we was calling it praise report on the taking them off the prayer list.
This dude has been on a fly killing mission today.
Well, I've been pushing him on that. That's my
Fly
fault.
unaliving mission. I said the wrong word on
Yeah, we're gonna get flagged again now.
You're gonna have to take behavior classes then.
Thinking of that, and I'm not pointing at y'all, but thinking of that. Y'all remember a few Sundays back when we got on the leprechaun thing that Philip heard about in Texas that was right down the road down here?
Yeah, thanks again, Philip.
We got flagged for that.
No, you got flagged for that. A copyright flag
I
for
couldn't
that.
believe. Doggone YouTube telling me, oh, you got a copyright notice on this. You won't be able to monetize this video. And I said, well,
We didn't make
okay.
no money off of it.
Yeah, we're not making it yet. Y'all act like we're bringing in several $100s a run on these things or something. No, we're going to leave it up, which we don't monetize our lives anyway, kind of thing, or they shouldn't be monetized. I think all that's turned off on the live, but whether you go back in the replay and watch it, you shouldn't be having to deal with no commercial or anything like that. But
he's on there.
Well, DC, it said because I used material from somebody else's whatchamadiggy and so on from there. So
that is awesome to hear, Blaine. I'm glad he can move ahead. Said the test they were waiting on came back negative, so now the baby can get the treatment he needs, and it has good reports for success.
wonderful, wonderful.
That's it.
Yes.
One step at a time. That's really good to hear.
I was going to say, that's the news we want to be hearing right there.
Yes.
Pathways to a healthier life, that's for sure. Especially them little ones kind of thing.
Oh, we had another praise. Did I tell you when Miss Angie told me
No.
about the baby?
No.
He should. If I was Catholic, she'd be my godmama. But with my mama's best friend, like I've known her my whole life. They were friends for 35 years or something when my mom passed. But her grandson, he's 4. And last year, right, or 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, he was diagnosed with leukemia. And he's been going to St. Jude's and the whole nine, but he was having my chemo's over party, I think last weekend or this weekend. But he had his last treatment and he finally gets to move on. Oh my gosh, been in the hospital like 3 months straight. That is rough. That is rough, especially on a youngin'.
Mr. Danson, Notre Dame, watch out. What?
DC.
Prayers. Yeah.
So he's just never been out of the hospital then. If he was born July 31st. Maybe getting this medicine, he can start improving to the point where he can go home with his mom and daddy. Either way, we're still going to be praying for him.
Yes.
Flag for a leprechaun. Someone should tell YouTube they're not over. Is that what you were talking about?
Well, yeah. Well, whenever I seen in one of the whatever it was back there that set me off, and about YouTube flagging us, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't respond. I was just like, okay, whatever. You're not paying us for it anyway, kind of thing. So
They're hoping he can go home in November. Okay.
well, that's just right around the corner now.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully early November. Lord willing.
Oh, don't you dare.
Oh, he wanted to get that.
Yeah, he did.
I've been on old Jasper all day today. Get the fly. Get the fly. And he's been getting the fly. No, where were we at on thing? Let's see. I didn't have too much of a big list because, like I said, ain't too much going on in the beekeeping world right now. I really on our end, and
y'all gonna have to help us out. He was supposed to have figured something out to talk about. I told her I ain't got the mental energy to wing it tonight.
well, I know everybody's jawing about. It's pretty well the same song, different verse in a lot of ways. Get ready to feed and make sure your weight's up good enough. Doing your last little bit of treatments, getting the pest knocked down, this and that. And folks in the North Country, I imagine y'all are, if you insulate, y'all are getting everybody ready to insulate or you already have kind of thing. But I guess on one of the biggest deals was the feeding. And I went back and found one of these old bee journals. See what the big time folk was doing back in the old time days and how they was mixing up their sugar syrup. And oh, pardon me. And I found an article by Mr. G.M. Doolittle, one of those fellas kind of like Day Dance, C.C. Miller, all them old big names back in the day. But let me see how long it was. I don't think it is quite lengthy. But hey, well, we got a show to do. You know what I mean? So we ain't got nothing but time. I can hit the chat button if you want to come in. If not, then I'll read. That'd just tell me y'all enjoy listening to me read so much. Did it go?
Yeah. If we turn Jasper loose, it'd be total destruction.
Oh, it's a bull in the china shop. It's been all day. All day.
Story time with Tim.
All right. Let's get to it.
Jasper's getting comfortable.
Making sugar syrup for feeding bees. Written from the American Bee Journal by G.M. Doolittle. And this one was, I'll have to go back up here in a minute to tell y'all when it was, 1800s, I imagine, with Doolittle.
Way back when.
The old timey days.
Right before we was born.
A little bit. About 100 years.
Jasper, if you fling me out
He's
of this
fixing to knock this camera, tripod, and everything over. All right.
Thank you.
Says the following has come to hand from someone who forgot to sign his or her name, so I will answer through the Bee Journal as requested. And the person was asking, will you tell us through the columns of the American Bee Journal just how you make sugar syrup for feeding bees? As I have some bees which we will have to be given this before, but I cannot find where it is. If I remember rightly, you use honey to a certain extent, and if so, is there any danger of getting foul brood where one may have to buy honey for this purpose? And Doolittle saying, in answering the above, it may be well and interesting to the reader to know just how I come to hit on the formula for sugar syrup, which I have given several times before in the different bee papers, as hinted at by our correspondent. Some years ago, after a poor season, I found that all of my queen rearing colonies would have to be fed, as well as some of the others. So I set out to look up recipes making the feed, as I had no surplus of combs of honey. I found plenty of recipes telling how to make it using vinegar, cream of tartar, and tartaric acid.
Or
Tartaric,
another cream of tartar.
tartaric acid,
Mm-hmm.
Tartaric.
It's just cream of tartar, not tartar.
There's no tar R either. Y'all bear
Keep
with us.
going.
We'll get through this. Okay, tartar acid, we'll say, in greater or less quantities to keep the syrup from candying or crystallizing. When about concluding to use one of these, I ran across one that said all that was necessary to do was to pour boiling water on granulated sugar, stirring both together as long as the water would dissolve any more sugar. As this seemed so simple, I concluded, use this. Having the syrup made and feeding in the hive, I proceeded to feed, all going well the first feed. When I came to feed the second night, I found the feed skimmed over with a crust of sugar which had formed on the surface during the 24 hours it had been standing. I also found that it had granulated on the bottom of the sides of the can, and upon going to the hives, I found that one on the bottom and sides of feeders. However, I persisted in feeding it, as the one given the plan said nothing was needed to keep the syrup from crystallizing. As the plan was needed to keep nothing from keep the syrup from crystallizing, as the bees put acid into it, manipulating to keep it a liquid. After a few days, I noticed bees out at the entrance of the hive of each colony fed, having little grains of sugar on their wings and bodies trying to fly, but most of them had so much on them that they could only hop around, making a purring sound with their wings. I next looked inside the hive when I found that the fully 1/5 of the bees had more or less of these sugar crystals on them. While the inside of the feeders was all covered with crystals, upon looking into the cells containing the syrup, I found that in many of them crystallization had commenced to such an extent that the crystals were easily seen. I said this was not the answer, so when the next batch of syrup was made, I put vinegar in the water before stirring in the sugar. While the vinegar helped with the crystals, it also gave a taste to the syrup which I did not like. So in the next, I tried cream of tartar and then tartaric acid. But in spite of them all, the syrup will crystallize some unless I added so much that is disagreeable to taste was given the syrup. And now it come to me how in early years I had used, owing to the scarcity of honey at our house and honey and sugar mixed on the table, in which case neither the honey nor the sugar granulated. So the next batch of syrup was made as follows. 15 pounds of water was put into a large tin dish and brought to a boil. When 30 pounds of granulated sugar was poured in and stirred for a moment till it had mostly dissolved. When it was left over the fire till it had boiled again, taken from the fire, 5 pounds of honey was poured in, and the whole stirred enough to mix thoroughly. I found in this a syrup of about consistency of honey, which remained liquid from day to day, a syrup that any beekeeper could easily make, and which one would not crystallize on the bees, feeders, or in the cells. I have kept this syrup standing in an open dish for months at a time without crystallization or souring. It has now been some 10 to 12 years since the experiments above given were tried, and during all that time, I have never found how I can improve on this food or feeding the bees for winter stores. For spring feeding, I would use 25 pounds of water to the same amount of sugar and honey, as this gives better results in brood rearing than does the thicker syrup.
Yeah, so in the winter he settled for 15 pounds of water.
In winter, it was 30 pounds. Wait a minute. Winter, it was 15 pounds of water was put into a large dish and brought to a boil.
And then summer it was 30.
In summertime,
Which you just read. He went to 30.
in springtime, he went to 25 pounds of water.
I'm sorry.
To the same amount of sugar and honey, it was given better results in brood rearing than does the thicker syrup. As to there being any danger, should it so happen that honey from the foul brood colony was used, I would say that there need be no fears, for the honey is stirred in as above given and will all be scalded, and the scalding of the honey, anything else having the germs of foul brood about or in it, efficiently kills these germs. However, care should be used in handling honey which may have come from a foul broody hive, as the least a bit of carelessness left where the bees can get it, while in its raw form state will still carry with it the seeds of foul brood, just as surely as corn grows from seed corn. There is one other item I wish to notice before closing, that is where our correspondent hints at there being a necessary to feed his bees before long. If, as I suspect, the correspondent lives in the north, he should. All right, here we go again. They always say this, every single one of them.
Yankees.
No, well, they're not saying Yankee.
He said he lived in the north.
Well, they do live in the north.
Problems start.
And we love our Yankee friends, isn't it? But Doolittle, and just like Dade Ant, Miller, whoever the other ones was, I keep forgetting about. But every one of them say the same thing about winter feeding, and I'm getting to it right now. There was another item I wish to notice before closing, and that is where our correspondent hints as it's being necessary to feed his bees before long. If, as I suspect, the correspondent lives in the north, our Yankee people, he should have fed the bees in October what they needed to carry them through the winter.
Mr. Dan was just saying he got done. He's already done with feeding.
All right, Doolittle saying this is a duty he had not only owes to himself, but to the bees also. For while bees often do come through winter when fed during cold weather, yet the chances are that a loss of colonies will not only waste the bees, but the syrup fed as well. So once again, another hint at feed them early. If you got to feed them early. Be done with it. That way, they pretty well got what they need and they done with it.
Mm-hmm. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings, Mr. Dan. I wasn't talking about you. You eat Southern food, so you don't count as a Yankee.
What? Let me get back in here real quick.
That was the end of your article.
That was the
I thought
end
you
of,
said it was lengthy.
well, it was kind of lengthy.
You're reading fast these days.
Really? I'm doing so good in my reading.
You are.
I'm getting better. Well, let's see. I mean, what else can I find in here that may be interesting?
I don't know, because you only killed like 7 minutes.
Really? Well, let's just go pick through some random stuff and see what's in here.
Oh, Blaine, I should have said that. See, I'm terrible with these. I'll think of my comeback like 2 days later.
Hey, I will tell y'all this while I'm trying to find something. She woke me up out of a dead sleep the other night
Why do you have to tell people these
with
things?
a loud voice. Jewel, get inside. Right on back to sleep she went.
He hadn't helped me with the puppies at all that day, and I was sick and tired
She had
of
enough,
screaming at him,
but it woke me up right out
hollering
of a
at him in
sleep.
my sleep. Y'all get your tails in this house. Mr. Dan. He said, I lived in Texas for 11 years. I don't break easy.
All right, here's one. And I don't know if anybody's ever done this. I know we sure hadn't.
What?
But we'll just see what the column says. But it says want winner on sorghum on
Like,
page.
will not I want to.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta
they won't.
specify. Like drones or drone cone.
It says on the page of 559 of the Bee Journal for 1893, there's an item concerning sorghum for winterizing bees. Miss somebody, huh?
I like sorghum.
But it may not be good for the bees. It says Miss Ashley suggests that I should try it and report, which I would do with pleasure. I can only report failure. Miss Ashley reports that she could not get her bees to take hold of the sorghum. I have 5 colonies which I had fed on last October, sufficient to carry them through the winter. They're all, they were all dead, but one colony, and that one is reduced in numbers to a mere handful of bees. They all had plenty of sealed stores when they died and fell.
The sorghum took the bees out?
I don't know yet. They all had plenty of sealed stores when they died and fell down on the bottom board. All of my other colonies are winterizing well that have honey stores. Now, if Miss Ashley wants to try sorghum next winter, I think if she will go to some of her colonies of bees in warm, dry weather in October, some that have plenty of bees and not so much honey, and raise the front end of the hive a little bit higher than the back and pour in the sorghum just a little for 1 to 2 evenings to get them started eating it, then increase a little more feeding every evening. I think in a week or so, her bees will have plenty of sealed stores to last them through the winter if they should live that long. But I don't think they would. The man said, I don't even know who wrote that article. Who's it in? There ain't even a name yet. Feeding every evening, I think in a week or two, her bees will have plenty of sealed stores, but he don't think they're going to make it. I don't wish Miss Ashley to feed her bees any sorghum nor anyone else unless you want to lose your bees. For that you will do if they are fed pure sorghum. Some northern beekeepers may think there is a disease among my bees, but such is not the case. There never was any disease among the bees in this country that he knows of. Okay, here we go. And it was from Mr. N.E. Cleveland from Decatur, Mississippi, December 23rd, 1893.
Mr. Dan said he think he would guess because there's a lot of ash in sorghum.
I'm not sure. I'm not much on it. I mean, I'm just not much on it.
I think that's one of them things you got to be raised on to like.
But undoubtedly, according to Mr. Cleveland.
So what? I don't know.
If you want to naturally euthanize your bees, give them sorghum.
That's a heck of a way to.
Well, there you go. Look, if you got a hot hive, you know how to take care of it now. Load them
Feed
up.
them sorghum.
Yeah, here you go. Drink up, ladies.
That's terrible. That's like giving a puppy antifreeze.
Well, it's the antifreeze of the bee world, then.
That's an ugly thing to do.
Well, some bees. Do you want hot bees around here? Because I've heard you fuss about them through the years about
Y'all got a bad attitude.
bad attitude. Yes.
I don't know that I could intentionally do that. They'd have to make me really mad.
DC said many of the summer honey is higher in parcel content and it can be hard on the bee gut in winter if they cannot get out and go number 2.
That makes sense.
But
I don't know. I never would have guessed sorghum would do that.
no.
Jasper, please don't keep me.
So what about, you reckon cane syrup would do it to them?
I don't know.
Do
Are both
anything
in
to
the
'em?
same family?
I think they cousins or something. Mm.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I would definitely research it before I gave it to them now, though.
I just, if you, well, let me go back so we'll know. If anybody wants to read that, I know there's some of you out there that, if y'all want to go back and read Doolittle's conversation on what to actually feed the bees and how he fed them for umpteen dozen years.
Yeah, JB, I don't know. YouTube's gone on a weird thing with the way it's showing everybody's names.
What's it doing now?
It's just showing like part of the channel name. It's not showing everybody's regular name. And a lot of people have numbers behind their name. Bob has a bloom going that's not good for bees right now.
Okay. For the ones of you wanting to know, this is volume 33, number 4, January 25th, 1894. So, volume 33, number 4, January 5th, 1894.
Oh, in the spring, is it that Carolina jasmine?
Let me get where
I
y'all
think
at.
that's what he had. Bob has something bloom all around him that ain't supposed to be good for the bees. I mean, we have it everywhere too. Like you walk out around like what we call our front yard, but I mean it climbs all up in the trees and everything, and it'll just be covered. It's beautiful to look at with these bright yellow flowers. And they're supposed to be poison to the bees, but I've never seen one of our bees working it, and it is all over the place out here.
That's well, I'll save that one for another day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's kind of my theory on the M's.
We've been through that.
Yep.
No, I have never seen a bee on it. But I mean, everything else is open at that time too, like the privet and the honeysuckle and mimosas and everything else they pull on out here is all open at the same time.
But we have seen them, and I've heard that they won't fool with it or it's poisonous to them. But we have seen them, and I think we got it on one of them videos of them bees working them azaleas.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, work the snot out of them azaleas, and they are supposed to be messed up.
now I don't know if it's that particular azalea or if one azalea is a little bit more lethal than another one or whatever the deal is with it, but sure enough, them Pride of Mobile that is up there at your grandma's house.
Yeah, y'all remember that video I took last year or year before last, I think. I think it was 2 springs ago, that big old hot pink azalea. I mean, it was covered in bees.
Mm.
Me neither, Blaine. Don't feel bad. What you hoping for?
I'll just let it catch back up. Whatever it's doing, or whatever it's doing.
I don't know. Hmm. Probably could do something.
Let me see here.
Everybody's as tired as we are tonight.
I know. This rain just made it a lazy day for us. That's for sure.
It did. I got a lot of chores done. Cooked a pot of lima beans. Battled the puppies all day.
Working around my arts and crafts studio in here.
He has taken over my kitchen in there. Well, the half with the table in it, he's taken over.
Yeah, Lord, yeah, Blaine. Another 2 days would be all right.
Yeah, it would. At least one more day. But we got school bus duty tomorrow.
Well, yeah. Which we tried to have a 3-day weekend, and it didn't plan at all.
It didn't. It did not.
We told ourselves, well, we got to go. We'll take Friday, and we'll go get material for the job we're working on. We had to get a few other little odds and ends, this and that. But I said, I'll tell you what, I said, we'll go Friday morning, leave like we normally would leave for going to work. That way we'll get home
early.
Maybe we'll get home about 9:30, 10 o'clock, finish, pretty well have a 3-day
We
weekend.
didn't get home till like 3:30 that
And it was all work related stuff. Had to run here, run there, and all that. But I did get me a new toolbox for the truck.
He did that.
Out of the deal. Done a little bit of bartering. Got a nice chrome toolbox.
That sat out in the rain all day today because he couldn't get out there to do his truck.
Bill said just pull it over at the gas station.
Oh, I got you.
Bill said top her on off for me. Keep it under 100.
You don't have an attendant that comes out and pumps your gas like Gomer did anymore.
Nope.
Now you cringe if you have to go inside and deal with the clerk at the gas station.
Let me tell you, I'd much rather listen to somebody at the pump talking to me besides them stupid TVs they put on them gas pumps. You talk about just irk me.
Especially first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Because they took away the mute button.
Can't mute them. Or the ones around here anymore.
You have to watch the gas pump TV.
What was it? The word of the day for 6 months out there was translucent. Then you had some dude named Tank that does, what was it? Tank Sinatra, whoever that dude is.
I don't know. I have a really kind husband that always puts gas in my car for me, so I don't have to pump it.
Excuse you.
My gosh, Jubal. Seriously?
Let's see. DC said we'll get about 2 to 3 days of a little nicer before the next storm. And I mentioned there was a reason that I put a roof over my bees. And yes, and he's done good.
Yeah. Absolutely. Made a huge difference for your baby.
Well, like I said, that's what Demery done. That's how Demery said he had so much good success with his bees in the wintertime, just putting a roof over
our bees would probably be a lot happier bees if they wasn't baking in the heat all the time.
Hey, I got thinking about this too. Seeing DC's comment about nothing box when it happens, just hang out in your nothing box for a few.
What's a nothing box?
I don't know. But it sounds like it'd be a fun place to be.
Yeah.
Just me and nothing. peace and quiet. That's the way I'm gonna take it.
That's scarce these days.
But check this out. This got to wandering through my brain, and if anybody's tried it, let me know. But what about taking your inner cover?
Mhm.
All right. Just say you have a bouquet of them that you really don't even use much of anything, but if you got a little surplus of them, all right, you got your inner cover, then you got your lid that goes on top of that. We all know. Okay. But what about for winter time? If you left the inner cover, or if you just took the inner cover off the top,
Mhm.
put your regular lid down on it, or put your insulation there, then put your lid down on it. Okay, whatever you use, whether you use the bubble stuff or whatever you do.
Mhm.
But I got thinking about this.
What?
You took that inner cover and you just kind of switched it around and you put it between the bottom board and that first box. Would that help increase keeping heat in there as well? Which I believe it would, because there's more area covered under that bottom. But has anybody ever done that?
The heat rising.
I know, but you're condensing the access point of where air can get in instead of it being a big wide area. You just got that little bit of smaller little cutout for uh your inner cover, but with it being on the bottom.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. I don't know if it would make a bigger.
There's one to ask right there. Frank, has that something you ever tried? As much?
You want to know what a nothing box is?
What is a nothing box?
DC said all men have a nothing box in their brain that they go and hang out in. When the wife comes up and asks, "What were you thinking?" and you say nothing, you was in your nothing box.
Oh, well, I'll stay there a lot. Uh,
No, Frank, I think I would run far, far away.
okay. All right. I'm with you, Mr. Dan. It probably would mess up that Luan on the bottom of that cover. But, all right, let's just add a little bit more to that. Let's say if you built what they call them quilt box now, but I always read them out of here as the chaff box. But what if you put a quilt box on top of that puppy and then you put your inner cover on the bottom? You're collecting your moisture at the top through your quilt box or chaff box, whatever you want to call it.
Well, yeah.
And then
So,
under the bottom right there, it slowed the draft down some.
that's why I love the way your mind works. That may work.
I don't know. I was just thinking about that the other day, just kind of rummaging through my head. You know, just me and my brain that closes up the as much draft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it'd be worth a shot, especially if we're gonna have a wet winter like they're yakking about.
I don't know. I think DC's going to get the wet winter. They jawing about it's going to be dry down here.
Really?
Yes.
They was jawing early about it was gonna be a warm and wet winter.
I'm going to tell you what.
They never know.
The only one that knows and gets it even remotely close. Well, there's two of them that I know of.
Mr. Dan said even with 2 inches of pink foam, moisture still forms on the sidewalls in winter.
Okay.
Pink foam on the lid.
On the lid. All right. Chest.
Shoot.
Thank you, man. Frank says my condensing hives are rotating the wood around the telescoping lids. Okay. DC said 10 pounds of sugar on top of my bee's head makes a little insulation and plenty of winter food.
Yeah, he said my bees eat their winter quilt.
Right. What? All right, you're trying to prevent
You put that on the top.
Frank, if I'm understanding, you just trying to prevent boxes from rotting. Reason you do that switching back and forth, but
No, he said my condensing hives are rotting the wood around the telescoping lens. I guess the condensation
it's
maybe
right. Okay.
are rotting the wood around the telescoping lens.
Okay.
I think it had hive checked it. I think it's spell checked it.
Hit them with some marine varnish, Frank, and then puppies won't. You won't never have a problem with wood rot or anything like that ever again. I guess that's kind of one reason I reckon I don't worry about our boxes too terribly much. Is that marine varnish show enough to protect from moisture?
That is what he was trying to say. It spell checked him. Because he was saying the wet lids are rot.
I'm thinking if anybody has done a configuration of any, that just normal people ain't doing, Frank's trying it. Kind of thing, just to see what works or what works better for him.
Oh. Well, that just works out all around for you, DC.
Don't you?
My watch was DED. I had to plug it up. So I don't know what's coming in.
DC said that sugar also absorbs some of the excess moisture in my hives, turns it into a real thick sugar slurry. The bees eat well all winter and have their honey for spring. Mr. Russell saying DC probably not much insulation, but will protect the cluster from dripping water. It does have thermal mass.
You can talk to him a second, buddy.
Come on, get up here, watch you stretching the legs, sir.
Oh. Go say hey to everybody, Jay.
I don't know. It just run through my head. Everybody does that. But I guess pretty well everybody's got their own moisture control and prevention pretty well figured out in here. Well, we noticed that at Lance's, Mr. Dan, for us down here anyway. When we had the bees over there helping him out. He had screen bottoms on every single colony he had out there. And we didn't even no more think about trying to block that off or do anything like that with the colonies that were over at his place. Well, when we come back for springtime to check those girls, they were sure enough heavy boxes, still packed full of honey. And their numbers were much better than what was here at the house with solid bottom boards. So when we brought everything from there to here earlier this year, I just put them screen bottom boards on everybody out here. So we'll see how it does. But I'm gonna let them run with screen bottoms this year just to see as well. But we didn't even, we'll say the small colonies or anything like that. We didn't lose anything over there, and literally every single one of them had screen bottoms on them. Good evening, Barnhill. Good to see you. Our Gary says I run screens all year round now. Just put inserts in during the winter. They are far from all right, so they allow from airflow. Like DC said, it seemed to work last year. I still have most of them sitting in my living room. I moved them in, dried them out, stacked them up for this year. Brian, DC, maybe try insulating the top of your nothing box. It may help with condensing thoughts in the winter. All right, Barnhill says they run screens all year as well. So okay. Do you see the ones of you that run screens all year? Do you see your numbers are fairly good? All right, Mr. Russell, same thing. Screen bottoms unless it gets real cold. All right, Gary's saying he don't have small high beetle issues either since he switched to screen bottom boards as well. That's one thing I was looking at this year too with them things. We never run them, never fooled with them. Any kind of screen bottom board. Everything that we had around here was solid. But Chris the Bug Man, but Lord, we ain't seen him in a good little while. Hope he's doing all right. But Chris, a couple years ago, or year before last, sent us the bottom board that's got the tray in it. You got the screen, then you got the tray in the bottom of it, and was trying to help us out with the high beetle issues there. But we did notice when we put that thing on the bottom of one of the colonies that the bees were pushing them high beetles down in that bottom much better. You didn't have nowhere near as many high beetles up high as you did, and the bees able to keep them beetles pushed down through there. And that was one of the main sets this year, just to try the same thing around here. But between the peppermint and that, the beetles were, for the most part, in our eyes, pretty well non-existent. There was a few times we pop the lids and we'd see, 10 or 12 of them in there. And for us, that is like non-existent when it comes to hive beetles, but did see much lower numbers on that end as well. So we're gonna carry on with it most definitely with spring and summertime. But like I said, we're gonna let them ride throughout the winter, seeing how well they did down the road. And where we had them down the road, they wouldn't but about 4 miles from us, south of us. Our Galloway is saying the chloroplast fills inside with water, even fills with water if used as an inner cover. Good deal, Barnhill. Barnhill saying using screen bottom boards and bye-bye beetle baits. Rarely see beetles anymore. That's a good feeling, being able to go out in them colonies and not have that worry. Mr. Russell said doing a good OVA with screen bottom boards is probably the only drawback to them. Yes, because you have to go through and you'd have to cover every one of them puppies up somewhere or another to keep your vapor in there to get the effect that you're, looking to achieve. All right, Mr. Dan says I keep the front of the chloroplast cracked a half inch to drain the water out the front. Frank, Frank built you a couple of them uh quilt boxes. Them chaff boxes. I gotta get this and sent off to DC, but it's back here somewhere. If I can reach that thing, I don't know if I can or not. Hold on, let me grab it. I mean, for a little bit, it wasn't too much. Like far as your materials and stuff, you're gonna spend. I think we spent about $60-$70 getting all the materials to start with, but I don't know if you can see that thing or not all the way. But that's the one I built. We're gonna send up to DC, but we had bought these little vents you put on the side of it as well. But fill that puppy up with your pine shavings, and I think it was Philip talking about kind of it may help with your moth situation a little bit, putting some cedar shavings in there because the bees they ain't gonna be getting it. They can't get into that bottom of that screen. But and you're sure enough you're not gonna put enough in there to run them bees out with a whole bunch of cedar, that's for sure. If anything, they love them old cedar and cypress long hives we got out there. Yeah, DC. Let's see if I. What I done is you got the little vents. All right, see if I can get y'all close enough in there to show. All right, it's got your little bitty air vent hole right there, and you just drill a 1 inch with a wood paddle. Just drill you a 1 inch hole, and they'll pop right in there, and they got some little feet on them you can turn up, and they'll grab so they won't pull out. But then what I done as well to keep potential for any critters getting in there, it'll have to be a small critter, but I'm gonna make a few more. But we're gonna insert some screen in there. Them old anybody that smoked a pipe, you got them old pipe screens. We got a pack of I don't know, it was like 150 or 200 of them, and those little bitty 1 inch screens fit perfect inside that little stainless steel vent that you can buy to put on there. And I just thought of that to keep out any critters at all or any insects. Let's see here. All right, Gary's saying the key to get rid of moisture in a hive in winter is an insulated top cover. Condensation occurs when temps on the outside are far colder than the inside. That's one of our big deals. We got to worry about how that temperature just falls real quick around here. It ain't no just kind of like y'all in the North Country up here. You get cold, you stay cold for the most part. We got to watch it where it'll be 70, 75 degrees at 2 o'clock. Then by the time the sun goes down, 7, 8 o'clock, we'll have one of y'all's fronts finally make it down here to us, and that temperature drop literally 25, 30 degrees in a matter of an hour or two. And it's on after that. How our temperature changes so quick.
You ain't getting one.
DC saying the Caucasians ate the most sugar of all the colonies last winter. They took about 14 pounds of winter feed. But they also were my strongest through the season. Well, Brian, you only got but what, another market or two?
He's done.
Are they done with it, huh? Gary said I made a insulated inner cover with just a sheet of Reflectex on both sides of a 3/4 inch shim. The dead air space in the middle prevents condensation, just like double pane windows do. That's pretty good thinking there. Yes, sir. There you go. But thankfully, for the most part, I think we're gonna be okay. There's only one colony out there that we got any reservation about, and that's a spring split we done. We done a 2-frame split early in the spring, and they ended up doing okay through the season, but nowhere near the numbers I was really hoping they would get up to. So if any of them has potential of not pulling through the winter, then it's probably going to be them. But we may end up doing like some of y'all was talking, just if we can save them at all, is just do a double screen board there and let everybody work off their heat and see how well they do. Let's see, Mr. Dan said, Tim, I just toss on empty medium supers above the inner cover and push down a tight 2-inch pink dowel board onto the inner cover. I can check and see how close they are at the top stores without breaking the propolis seal. All right, check the top stores without breaking the propolis seal. I Gary's saying the old single pane windows we all grew up with always had condensation on the inside, which turned to ice on the cold days. You don't see that in double pane windows. Barn Hill, I have one hive that is most likely toast. Numbers are going down, and my last video showed the probable mite infestation has already done its worst. Well, yeah, well, hopefully they'll pull on through, but well, what you say there, John White? Good to see you, man. Happy to get some of this rain too, huh? DC said, yeah, by the time this time of the year, the damage is done. Let's see. So heat rise is the most important place to insulate is the top cover. Yeah, Born, I'm gonna have to build a screen divider though. That's about one piece of equipment we don't have, but I'll get out there and fix something up for them and get them over into it. And yep, trying to rain again. There must be a crack or something in that double pane. Them things to be holding condensation. But we ain't got technically double pane like far as a solid window. We got a window, then there's a space, and then there's another window. Mm-hmm. You make it?
Yeah. I'm feeling my back. Okay. Sorry, guys. I just had to stretch a minute.
That's no worry. We get good. Where are we at? John P showed up. See him
I
in there?
just saw his name in there. Hey, John. And Paloma. I don't know if she's watching or not, but don't leave her out.
We was talking to Mr. Donnie yesterday. We went to the county fair. Did I get into the county fair?
No, it was a letdown, too. There wasn't a critter in sight. Well, there was a couple of heifers out there.
Like for real
But
heifers.
you couldn't even pet them this year. There were signs everywhere. Don't stick your hand through the fence.
Yeah,
Like, why y'all put baby cows out here if folks can't pet them?
I think that was just for the ignorant people who don't know how to love on some old heifer.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've loved on lots of old heifers in my life.
But yeah, I was leading up to it in the beginning. Then I got off track about Blaine's app. I got excited about that. About him getting it in the Play Store.
Yeah, just rough, DC. Well, there y'all having, John. I cheated, made a pot of lima beans for supper. But no, the stupid fair.
Oh yeah.
And then we went walking, gonna go see all the rides and the lights and everything. And it's like 70% of the midway, the rides had been replaced with like little booths of people selling stuff. It's like, man, what's wrong with y'all?
Yeah, I got so tired of hearing, "Hey, won't you try to win her this? Hey, won't you try to win her that? This and that." And I just got to the point where I just looked at him walking past, like, man, give it a break. You're not getting no money out of me on that. But yeah, we was going to expect to see all. We enjoy seeing what the 4-H kids and the FFA kids and all those do. Raising up their critters for the season for show. And usually there's a big old awning thing, I guess you want to call it. It's basically like a building without walls, but the thing's huge. And
like a pavilion type looking.
But
the gate ticket was $10. Unless you're over 65, then it's $5. But I didn't quite pass for that old.
I don't know. I don't even know if you'd want to fool with it, John.
Oh, you want to talk about some strange looking critters running around with no adult supervision in sight.
We talking about 2-legged critters.
Yeah, but they're sure enough classified as critters with what they was wearing. I don't know, Mr. Dan sounded good too.
Well, John cooking up a meal. That man's got butter beans, pork chop, salad, and fried potatoes in it.
I think that was supposed to be fried potatoes.
Well, it's all good. But look, that man learned to cook.
Oh, they had all different colors, John. But the stuff that was coming out of their faces is what made me classify them as critters.
Oh, it was something else kind of thing. It was like,
but Blaine, this year, it was like on a whole nother level.
It was more of a circus, really.
It really was.
It was disappointing because usually it's pretty good kind of thing. But it was terrible.
But then about halfway through, I'm walking around. Well, I was limping at that point. My back was screaming so bad. It hit me. I was like, I don't know why I'm getting so mad. They took half the rides out. It ain't like I can get on anything anyway. But still, we might try to go back to the rodeo, but that's going to be about it. Yeah. If we do that.
No, I want to go watch the rodeo because we watch the rodeo every year. But we ain't going down there to ride rides and this and that kind of thing. It just, I don't even if we had kids, I don't know if I'd even take kids down there.
I wouldn't want my kids exposed to that. And then what blew my mind the most was at like the central part at the very end, what used to be the best part, like the U-turn of the fair, but they had the Ferris wheel and the coolest rides down there. It was a big old, like, a food trailer, but it was like a bar on wheels. I mean, they had signs everywhere like margaritas and pina coladas. And I'm like, yeah, that's what y'all need running around down here. And no, it was very disappointing this year. But it'll be okay. Maybe the radio will be worth going to. But that was the whole thing. That like we went down there just to see the critter show. Because usually they have cows and chickens and pigs and goats and all kind of stuff down there, but there wasn't nothing. So we didn't even get to see that.
I'm no expert, DC, but I'd say a 7-gallon tank probably plenty for you. Could be wrong. That's a good. I mean, that's fair.
Brian would be a good person to ask that question. So, how did they build defrosted in the walls of the freezer? Oh, Mr. Dan's fair sounds fun. Yeah, no joke.
Man, it was $9 for cotton candy.
For a little bag of cotton candy. A little one. I couldn't believe it. I think Mr. Donnie gave like $15 for a candied apple. I was like, are you kidding me? A cheeseburger was $20. A slice of pizza was $15.
A 16-ounce Coke was $10.
A fake chicken on a stick was $20. And you won't never convince me that's real chicken. I wasn't fixing to pay that kind of money for it.
But they buying it all day long down there. If you want to go make a quick lick, that's where you go.
The lines at the food trucks was as long as the lines for the few rides they had out there. We was gonna do the helicopter ride. Like we really were thinking about that because they had a big old sign out in the parking lot. It was like $20 or $25 a person. And I really wanted to do it. Like I've been in a helicopter, but I've never got to fly in a helicopter until we watched it. And literally all they do is go straight up from the landing pad and make one circle around the fair and land again. It was like a 30-second ride. Literally. I was going, yeah, I'm not paying $50 for 30 seconds in a helicopter looking at a parking lot.
That's it, Gary. Just like
$95 a pound.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people complain about $15 for a pint of honey.
Somebody said that last year, I think. What? Was talking about set up a honey stand. Go out there and do that. There was
one person out there that had a biplane ride. What is that? I don't know what a biplane is. The closest I ever come is when we were the training officers at the fire department for a little while. And we set up a class with Lifelight out here. And they brought, the helicopter and all the giveaways and the whole 9 yards. And we were going to get to go on a ride together. And it started storming like 20 minutes before the class ended. And there was no way.
Yep, they said, we got to go, y'all. We got to get the aircraft back and tied down.
I was going to say, now, wait a minute, y'all. I'm not that blind. I know most airplanes have 2 wings.
Yeah, one on that side, one on that side.
Yeah. Oh, I never thought about doing honey straws.
You need one of them machines, though.
Yeah. Wasn't Sarah talking about getting one of them not long ago? Okay.
That's what
I
we
would
would.
have to have a lot of confidence in the pilot.
You remember me watching the video the other day
You
about
watch a lot of videos, babe.
the airplane pilot, the airplane pilot from World War II that put the bazookas on his plane?
Oh, yeah.
That plane right there.
Okay. That would be cool.
That was a good story for you war buffs. I had to find the link to the video again, or you just YouTube search it. But that World War II pilot that he was doing originally, just scoping things out, giving recon from the air.
Mm-hmm.
And they said the Germans wouldn't shoot at them old planes because all they would do is just kind of hide for a minute, then the airplane go away, and this and that. Well, this old dude said, I want to be able to handle some business with my little aeroplane. So he hooked a bazooka on one wing and a bazooka on the other, went up, flew it, tested it,
Yeah.
got it. So he come back and put two more, went for a flight, bam, done it again, worked, put two more on there. Said by the time that old dude got done, he had 5 bazookas on this wing and 5 bazookas on that wing. And that's how he went in and started taking care of business ahead of time.
I don't need all that. I just want a plane ride. Peaceful. Nobody pow-powing
Well,
anywhere.
well, those one wing planes is depending on which direction you're wanting to go. You want to go left? Wait a minute, left? That's backwards for y'all. Left. Or if you want to go right. Two wing, that's your straight
Go
way.
in circles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can do little circles or big circles. It's just depending on who the pilot is. Yeah.
Oh, my word. Oh, wow. I don't know. That's a little too much, like tempting fate. The air show where the pilot had his plane rigged to drop one wing so he could land it with one wing instead of two.
Yeah, I'm not going to play that game. I'll watch somebody do that. But no. That's it.
Mr.
Blaine,
Dan,
crazy.
that sounds cool. That sounds really cool.
All right, James says the Honey Stick Junior, you do 5 at a time, $1 each, and you can do 150 in an hour. So if you really think about that, you can sell 150 of them puppies in an hour. That's a good payday.
Try. He said on him but doesn't belong in pet trees. Because I was calling them critters running around. He ain't wasting his hard-earned honey.
And some of them probably would, if you told them to sit, would sit.
They might. I don't know. A lot of them have problems listening and following instructions.
Well, there
That's
you go.
their main problem.
Look, Blaine, if you do that, that's genius.
If you do that, she's gonna want to get back into pottery.
He don't even have to turn it, the thing will turn by itself.
Mm-hmm.
So he could just, hit a little button or the little foot pedal, pull it out there, put him another however many in there, spin it around, let it go. The man's on to something.
Mm-hmm. That's all it takes for a woman to change her mind. That's it. Oh, that would be pretty cool, Gary.
Now, I'd do that. That would be all right. You know, that's
Omar's Gourmet Dog Treat.
yeah.
What?
It may be a sign, Brian.
Oh,
This
my
conversation
word.
of the what we've seen and you getting that email, it may be a sign for you.
I don't know if I could advertise a business with a straight face that's named Gourmet Dog Treats.
Or Omar.
I
I
mean,
work for Omar, you know. And we sell the finest dog treats in town.
I mean, gourmet.
Gourmet
Come
dog
on,
treats.
yeah, I love my dogs, but I mean, I heat up leftovers for them, but I wouldn't call it gourmet.
But that just sells better, especially to them people that's got,
Yuppies.
yeah, they got more money than they got sense, as Mama and Daddy used to say. You know, hey,
Oh,
you want to
got
spend
to
it?
fly it? I'd be like a 3-year-old jumping around the cockpit.
I'd be like, give me the
Be
control.
slapping Tim's hand away. Do not push the buttons.
Now let me fly this bad boy.
These are dangerous. Well, that's what he was saying. The plane that he said he went to a local flight school and asked to get his son a ride. They took us up for over an hour and flew over our house for $65. But the plane had 2 sets of controls, so once in the air, the pilot let go and let me fly the plane.
Give me the control.
That would be awesome. I would do that in a heartbeat.
It'd be one of them. I'll be calling shotgun 2 days before we got there. Shotgun.
Yeah. Thanks for the heads up. I'll call it like a month before we get there.
Well, you can tell them, say, look, land the plane, let us switch.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd have the nerve trying to land it. But just flying, as long as we were way up, no mountains, nothing like that, I'd be good.
It would be pretty to fly around here on a little bitty plane like our seat. Besides just taking off. I mean, we've both been on airplanes from Mobile, but just flying around the local area besides going, oh, Lord, I'm fixing to be 30,000 feet up in the air.
Yeah. Once I got over the nerves, it would be pretty cool. Yeah, that's it, James. Don't let me land it.
Well, it's funny y'all talking about this because I've been on a kick the last 3 or 4 days of watching some dude, what's his name? Pilot Debrief. Undoubtedly, I guess, old boy's about my age, I guess, but I reckon he was a military pilot, this and that, but he does commentary on small aircraft accidents.
Mm-hmm.
And most of it is rich people that buy these however many $1 million airplanes and they learn how to fly it overnight, basically. Then they think they know it all. And about the time the dust settles, the plane is done literally running to the side of a mountain or something like that.
Mr. Dan said this is a good segue for my flying frog story.
Bring it on.
Oh, I thought he had told you a story. Yeah, I want to hear this, Mr. Dan.
That's it.
Gary.
The landing part will probably be the most crucial. If you could get above tree level, you're all right. Around here, anyway. Because that's it. It's just, you get above tree level, hey, you're good to go all the way for miles.
2 weeks ago, you was talking about bullfrogs. You was talking about eating bullfrogs. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember we got on eating bullfrogs and something else.
A mail order pilot's license? Please tell me that ain't a real thing.
Give me one. I'll tell them, look, I'm certified. Where's the keys and how much diesel do you put in this thing? Does this baby have glow plugs?
That's probably when I'll fly, James. I'll probably never get a chance to fly a plane on this earth. I think that's what got me so into it, DC. I read a book one time, surprise, surprise, about it was based in Alaska, but the woman that was the main character in the book, she flew one of those little bitty planes or whatever. I don't remember what they call them. The ones you can take off and land on the lakes and stuff. The little, like the 2 or 3 seater plane, Cessna or something like that. But it sounded really cool in the book.
I was just thinking about that old cartoon Tailspin. What was his name? Where he flew the plane like that? What do they call it? The duck or whatever he called that thing.
I have never had the desire to jump out of a plane.
No, I ain't finna jump out of that plane.
DC said when he was in the military, he wanted to jump out.
Like I said, as he was sitting by the campfires, all the campfire smoking, I heard a bullfrog fly over my head.
I'm waiting for the next part.
But that's it. If you live in Alaska, that's probably about the only way to get around is a doggone aircraft.
Yeah. How did they fly in South Carolina when they never knew up home? The suspense is killing me, Mr. Dan.
So I sat puzzling for about 5 minutes. How in the world did bullfrogs fly in South Carolina? It's got to be close to some of that talking bee situation.
That's why I'm sitting on the suspense.
Talking bees, eggplant honey, flying bullfrogs. DC knows how to make bullfrogs fly. We know that.
Yeah. But he made it.
Maybe.
Slingshots are cheating, DC. You didn't read his comment?
So when it came to me, that horned owl grabbed the poor frog off the bank and flew off to have dinner.
Well, I'm glad the frog survived.
We don't know if it made it yet. He just said it grabbed and flew off to have dinner.
Yeah. That would break my heart.
Well, it ain't. Well, it's just as bad. She had one of these old red tail or old chicken hawks around here. Got one of them bantam roosters, and she was
My favorite little rooster.
walking through the trail between us and her daddy there. And this is a true story. She come in fired up. Well, undoubtedly that old hawk was nesting up in a tree above the trail, and he dropped that chicken right in front of her out of that tree.
He sure enough did. All that was left of my poor little chicken was his legs and his head, and I was furious.
Okay.
I would have wrung that hawk's neck if I could have got my hands on that sucker.
Okay, I'm recalling a little bit from the last conversation because we was talking about the hoot owls and the little screech owl scaring the tarnations out of everything right here. And you see a little bitty 6-inch bird up in a tree just looking at you.
Toting off a bullfrog. That's insane. Ooh, do they explode if you shoot them too fast on impact?
No, they turn inside out going through the air. Yeah, they do.
What?
Yeah, they eject their stomach out. Frogs do this. When they eat something that doesn't agree with them, they're not like us. They can't just get rid of it like that. They have to bring up their whole stomach and turn it inside out to get rid of it.
Are you serious?
So if you put one in a slingshot like DC's doing, when he flies through the air and opens his mouth, he turns inside out. Makes for a mess, just like DC says. all over you.
I don't believe it.
I wouldn't either.
Oh.
That's it. What in tarnation? We even
He
got
said,
Frank
"What
bump
is
of it.
a tarnation?"
Oh,
It's a figure of speech, Frank. I don't know what it is. They say it all the time down here, though.
that's from
It keeps you from saying a dirty word.
that guy right there. Bam bam.
Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite Sam. What in tarnation?
G-forces are hard on frog.
All it takes is one.
Yeah.
One little G-force, and that poor frog.
Mm-mm-mm. The conversations we get into.
But we have good fellowship here.
We do. I wish my grandma was still here and I could ask her what's a tarnation.
Well, Google. If somebody wants
She
to know.
would tell me just to Google it.
Yeah, you can Google. Let me get over here.
She said that to me all the time. Well, baby, I don't know. Ask that Giggle on your phone.
Let's see here.
Excuse me, buddy. You got it? You're pulling the blankets off the chair and everything, Jasper.
What in tarnation is an old-fashioned expression used to convey surprise, confuse, or frustration. Much like saying, what the heck? What
See,
on earth?
I told you it's a word to keep you from saying a dirty word.
The phrase is a euphemism of what?
Don't say that on here.
Oh, I just about.
You
went
gonna
rid of-
take behavior classes by yourself if you say that and get in trouble.
So it's an old-timey saying.
Mm-hmm.
Bam. I do know what in Sam Hill. Whenever you hear that, but you don't hear folks say that much anymore. But people are like, well, what in Sam Hill? This and that.
Mm-hmm.
But Sam Hill was an old train conductor back in the day, up in the North Country up there. I guess so. That he does, and he carried too.
Proudly.
Well, wasn't nobody fixing to tear down his fort. I know that.
I was Okie waiting. They're probably waiting on herself.
Yeah, because
She couldn't flip.
where we at? 8:30, almost 9 our time. Yes, past our little feeding time.
She's waiting on her apple.
Awesome.
They would, yeah. All them little robots in there doing them algorithms, their little brains would start smoking if we just started talking like our grandparents talk, especially down here.
The algorithm will be going, what in tarnation?
Oh, do you see that? We should bring back all the old sayings so YouTube won't know what we're talking about.
No doubt we have our own code. What was that old code that the Indians used in World War II they couldn't figure out? Because the old language, what was that tribe? It was one of the tribes up in the North Country up there they used.
Mr. Dan, you're the historian of the group.
Man, I can't.
Then you'll just be feeding AI. The Navajo? Wind talkers?
Maybe. But I know it was one of the old native languages that is pretty well gone away, but they used it to communicate back then. Yeah. All right. Navajo.
We're in agreement.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Buttons, I don't have to be able to stretch again.
No, we finna wrap it up here in just a second. We still gotta lock the chickens up, let the little ones out,
Mm-hmm.
and go get my tail ready for bed.
Back to the real world tomorrow.
Y'all
Gotta
know
be
it.
big kids. Go to work. I'll have fun. Jive. But they don't tell you about when you're a kid.
No. They leave that as a surprise. Well, welcome. There
Maybe
she is.
people won't make me feel so old this week.
I heard her bouncing around, it sound like. I can't see her.
Yeah, she's all over the place.
Can y'all see her yet? Yep, there she goes, flipping, doing her little flips.
She's close.
Yeah, she's saying, "Feed me."
Yeah, she's hungry. Yeah, they were the only unbreakable code during the war.
There it is. I bet you them dudes listening probably going, "What in the world are they talking? I don't even know what they're saying. What is that language?"
DC, I'm sure gonna be praying for your mama. I hope things go good for her and they get the ulcer took care of and she can get on home. Because there ain't nothing like recouping in your own bed. She's tripping.
Oh, yeah.
Feed me now.
Yeah.
She's standing up in the corner. Let me get that baby an apple.
Can y'all see her good, I guess? I reckon. It looks like it on here. Let's see if I can make this big screen, see if you can see her good. Oh,
no,
yeah.
you just get flashes of light.
There she goes. Hi.
Yeah. She's tripping.
But she'll get her little old
And
piece of
she's
apple.
flipping, not tripping.
Then she'll just take it and go back in her little nest. And
she's good.
She's good.
Oh.
But she's going to make sure you feed her
I
a
wonder
little
if
bit.
she like lima beans.
I don't know if she likes lima beans or not.
It might make her little tummy explode.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess we're going to wrap it on up. See everybody kind of moseying on themselves. And I know a lot of us, like I say, got the work week coming up. Ones of y'all on the East Coast, y'all were already at 10 o'clock at night, I guess, almost. DC, what time is it at your house right now, DC? About 7?
No, 8.
Is it 8?
Should be about 8 at this time.
But, yes, sir. Till then, y'all. All right, so 7 o'clock at DC. All right. But, till then, God bless you. Lord willing, we'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all take care. Appreciate everybody.
Well, guess that's it for today. See you next time at Gunline Bees.